let me take this opportunity to raise the urgent need for our law enforcement authorities to solve, to address, to put an end to the alarming string of violence perpetrated against elected officials. This spate of violence leaves not only a trail of death, but also establishes a chilling climate of fear among our people. Worse, given the experiences of people elected into office, these acts of violence could potentially spawn more bloodbaths if perpetrators and those who mastermind them are not brought to justice. It is not enough that we condemn these attacks. The time calls for prosecution for the attackers, the killers, and the masterminds to be jailed. May I respectfully and humbly join calls for our law enforcement authorities and other concerned government agencies to exhaust their resources, exert their best efforts, and ensure that no acts of violence will happen again to elected officials, their families, their supporters, and their allies. Dapat po na may managot, dapat may makulong, dapat mahinto itong mga ganitong patayan. On that note, I am pleased to join a gathering that seeks ways to safeguard the integrity of our election process in the digital age. This year, as we approach the barangay and sangguniang kabataan elections, we are called to demonstrate our commitment to a clean, honest, and meaningful election by improving efficiency and ensuring public confidence in various stages of the entire electoral process. The presence of every esteemed speaker and stakeholder across different levels of governance in today's National Election Summit demonstrates our dedication to uphold the Filipinos' right to vote and harnessing the critical role of technology in promoting responsible voting. Imbued with the spirit of solidarity, we have another opportunity to strengthen the foundation of democracy and sustain our citizens' trust in the elections. I'm a very young politician. I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5 elections in my lifetime. But I always say to my volunteers and supporters, kapag nagsisimula kami mag-strategic planning during my run, na huwag mandaya. Kasi there is no honor in cheating and nakakahiya na nagiging mayor ka pero nakukuha mo yon sa pandaya. Nakakahiya humarap sa mga tao, magalit sa mga tao kapag meron silang ginagawang mali or we implement the law and yet ikaw mismo nakuha mo yung posisyon mo dahil sa pandaraya. There's nothing honorable about it. May today's multi-sectoral dialogue enable the formulation of up-to-date reforms and best practices that will fill in electoral gaps and secure the conduct of efficient voting, counting, and canvassing of our people's votes. I trust that the sanctity of the electoral process will serve as our guidepost as we prepare to ensure transparency and accuracy in our electoral exercise. I welcome the integration of voters' education in our K-12 program. To help prepare and equip our Filipino youth with the ability to discern and engage responsibly in the democratic process. By instituting civic education in youth and nation building, we encourage the involvement of an empowered citizenry guided by Filipino values, discernment, and knowledge that that are crucial in cultivating a culture of participative democracy. Let us bear in mind that as our Filipino youth cast their vote to elect their immediate community's leaders, their experience will influence their future political participation and civic engagement. Let us also prioritize avenues for improved technical and legal assistance among public school teachers as members of the electoral board and vanguards of the electoral process. I'm sure you've heard when I was speaking before the League of Municipal Mayors, the League of Municipalities of the Philippines, LMP, I already requested and reminded our politicians not to use the teachers to make them win in the elections. Pinaalala ko sa kanila na hindi naman yung mga teachers ng Department of Education ang makapagpanalo sa inyo sa eleksyon. Yung mga ginawa nyo that changed the lives, that implemented transformative change in your communities, yun yung makakapagpanalo sa inyo. Our teachers spend long and tedious hours in polling precincts, often braving threats to their lives and safety. We owe it to them to ensure the safe and credible conduct of vote canvassing. And kanina, I was asking the chairman, habang naglalakad kami, sino po ang participants natin sa summit? Sabi niya, lahat daw ng stakeholders. And naging masaya ako dahil I am a stakeholder, I am a voter, so I can speak in this summit. Baka naman, sa amin lang, Commission on Elections from the Department of Education, mauna yung bayad sa mga teachers namin bago ang eleksyon. Para, of course, bumabiyahe sila, kumakain sila, and may gastusin din sila during the days na they are serving our country as part of the board. So baka lang pwedeng i-advance yung can be a consideration when you plan for future elections na mauna yung payment or yung compensation para sa ating mga teachers. And dahil ang susunod na paragraph sa speech ay police, isasali ko na lang din ang Philippine National Police na sana din na mauna yung kanilang compensation bago pa man ang election. At isa pa nito sa mga challenges ng ating mga pulis, ang masiguro ang seguridad ng mga guro na magsisilbi sa panahon ng halalan. Minsan, ang mga guro ay tinatakot ng mga warlord politicians, and this is very true in Mindanao, at ginagawang kasangkapan sa kanilang Mandaraya. Nangyayari ito kadalasan sa mga liblib na lugar at mga lugar na kilalang kontrolado ng mga private armies ng mga politiko, and this is very true in Mindanao. Alam natin na mahirap kalaban ang mga warlords na may mga private army. Pero kailangan nating ipakita na mas mahirap pong kalaban ang mga taong gobyerno katulad ng mga pulis at ng mga sundalo because they represent the government.